Good evening, everyone. I'm really happy to see you all and to meet Agnieszka Khan, which is our guest tonight. And we will have a great opportunity to speak about a holistic idea of health and how to get the view and tools to our hands and minds and hearts to heal ourselves. Uh, Agnieszka, would you like to say a few words about yourself?
Oh, yes. Thank you very much for having me, Krzystof. And normally people call me Agnes, the one English speaking is so much easier. But yes, um, so uh, holistic life and health, I think especially in this time of pandemic and all the time of the so many unknown is very valid to discuss. And with your experience and my experience, I think combined, we probably have maybe around 40 years of experience dealing with health and the holistic approach to our life. I think it will be nice to exchange our views on what we do. Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for everybody joining us. Let's maybe share it so more people will get this life.
Great. So, Agnes, once again, remind for everyone who join us now, we will talk today about the holistic approach, holistic view on the health, and remind ourselves and everyone who is with us how to get control, remain control over our health and the health issue what we have. As you said, we both probably together have like 40 years
That's
experience in dealing with the health issues and all kind of.
mm,
I working as a holistic therapist in the treatment room, usually on the sessions one to one, sometimes on the running the groups. But to be honest, through this period of time, 18 years next to the table, I realized the most important uh, doctor for my client is the client itself, himself.
mm,
He has
yeah.
the power to heal himself, and we can just show the way. And this is our role to share our experience and to share the certain tips what we get through our life and our own experience. Would you like to say a bit more
Yeah,
about that?
absolutely. I mean, this what we are going to talk tonight is not something that the experts only would know about. Like you are the expert for your physiotherapy. Maybe uh, learn a little bit about the food and about the mind. But this is for anybody who is interested in getting control over your own life, over your own health, and everything that surrounds you. I'm talking from experience being a wife, being mom of two children, being a businesswoman, being a teacher, being a charity person. I translated books, so many things. And the most important thing I realized from all of these experiences is to be successful. In order to be successful, is to have the holistic approach to yourself and to your life. So this is what we want to talk today. Is for everybody how we can take control. We are going to share our experiences, yes, how we can take control over our health, but you don't need to be expert to make yourself feel healthy or to make yourself feel good and happy in your life and successful. This is what my experience. Creating 5 flavors of health was this is the project that we've been running for about 3 years now. Is a fundamental. These are the fundamentals where we share about our how to maintain our body, our mind, our spirit in a balanced and harmonic way, and then live happily ever after. So this is what we are going to share.
Yeah, it was one of the greatest discovering in the treatment room when I working with clients is when they coming to me with some issue and they say, "Oh, I have a problem with my elbow." I said, "Yeah, okay, great. You feel it in your elbow now, but this is not the problem with your elbow only. It's better to look to the whole body, how they behave your whole body, and then what is happening with your mind in this very moment, and also how do you approach food and the stress management. So this is like a whole situation. It's not only one part, because if you will suffer with the elbow, maybe you can leave your elbow in home and go and do your stuff wherever you want to do, but it's impossible. This is part of the whole of the wholeness, our being, and it's difficult to divide and want to heal only one part of the body, because usually the kind of pain or suffering is coming from one part, but the whole system is involved, is affecting
Absolutely.
whole system. So I'm also the father and the husband and running business for years, and this also it's impacting the daily situation is impacting they are impacting me, and I see how it's influencing whenever I'm under the pressure or kind of stress. I start to, because a bit more aware than most of people of my body, but it's
Mm,
only because I study it. I
mm,
study it a lot, and it's
mm,
not I'm special or whatever, or I spent 5 years on the university and was study awareness of the body. No,
mm.
I'm study every
Absolutely.
day looking to myself and to checking how I feel myself, what is happening, and in this way getting awareness. And
Absolutely.
I love to use one term: how you breathe, that you live.
Oh yeah, so true, so true. So just on a logistic standpoint, I am not sure if we are all on the Facebook. Maybe it's delaying a lot, but I cannot see on my so the other people can see it. The link that we have is I don't see it. Um,
Let me
Okay,
check.
maybe it's working. Maybe it's working. Yeah, yeah. Maybe it's now. It's now I can see it. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. How we breathe, how we live, and you know, if you ask me how we get control over our health and life and health, it's about understanding what you said, but not that understanding from what you get from the system, from your degrees at a university. That might help a little bit, but understanding the entirety of the experiences that you have in a best possible way. That I always understand. I always say that every sip that you take or every bite that you eat contains not only the nutrients that you need, but also contains the energy that it flows. So we are connected as human being. We are connected to the entire universe, and therefore, if we understand this entirety, that we are just one atom in all of that, we can be so much better. Similarly, to that you probably know this every single day from conversations with your clients, similarly to me, that each thought that we think has an impact on our cells, on our body. So if you are thinking, and this is what we are talking about, the holistic approach. So if you are thinking some resentment thoughts, some anger, you're jealous, or you're furious or stressed, maybe you don't think about your how this is affecting your body, because probably almost nobody think about this. We don't only think about this when we have a problem and we have to come to a doctor, but but every thought that we think has an impact on every cell on our body. Similarly, what we eat and drink has an impact on our body. We need to remember that. Do you
I
agree?
entirely agree with you, and this is like a fundament of what is happening with us. Usually, we are not aware what we're thinking in this very moment when we're eating, for example. but especially when we're rushing and we are in the middle of some situations, our thoughts are concentrate or so-called negative aspects, and we eat it in this very moment. Whole system is contract and is getting this contraction, this negative, let's say, negative motion of the energy to our body, and then we need to deal with these toxins. I'm dealing a lot with people who coming to me and they say, I were everywhere already, I saw all kind of doctors, no one can help me. Of course no one can help you, I'm agree with you. Then they are like, what? Yes, no one
Absolutely.
can help you, only you can help yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. So so this is exactly this. So how we can get control over our health is by realizing that all of these aspects are interconnected to our experiences and our experiences of our life, of our health, of our mental stability, of our spirituality, and all aspects of life, relationships and everything else, business, because all this is impacting. So realizing that all of these aspects are interconnected, we will pay more attention to what we think, what we eat, what we do, who we have around, what kind of environment we live in, because this is all impacting us, no?
Exactly. And what I really like to do is going with the through the process with people to give them experience, because as you said, you can understand it from the perspective of the academic degree, but it's completely different thing than to really feel it, understand it from the experience level, to get the experiential knowledge of things. So that's why it's good to do some practice, to go to the breath, to do some breath exercises, get some focus on that, spend some time with it, and then
Mm.
observe how our body is feeling, what is happening with our mind. Are we still want this fatty fast food thing it, or we are already okay, maybe it's a little bit not so good for me?
Exactly, but people normally they don't think about this. Normally they start thinking about connecting to the body, taking control, realizing that they have body. I sometimes talk to a client, and I have a feeling that they realize that they have a body only when the body is aching, when it's illness already. So they are desperate, and then they are now, what can I do? How can I change? What can I improve? So our conversation is also to awaken people who are not in the pain yet, who wants to live happy for very long, for the rest of their life, maintaining the harmony, maintaining the balance, by understanding the connections, what we are talking. Yes.
Yes, it's exactly. I prefer to work with people who are not in pain. This is the best
Mm,
work
mm.
because it's much easier for everyone and it's better for the person. It's not desperate. So it gives some time for him herself to go through the practice. And usually people are motivated by the difficult situation. Let's be honest. They need to be in a
Absolutely.
very difficult situation.
Then they realize, but speaking about this desperation and that difficult situation, we need to kind of realize what is leading to that, because those illnesses, those dysfunction of our organs or the body, or you know the anger, or the depression, emotional dysfunctions, they are not happening overnight. We are unconsciously working towards it, maybe months or years, even sometimes, not realizing. So when we realize, when we get to understand that unconsciously we are creating all of these illnesses, all of these dysfunctions of our body. Your knee is hurting. Why your knee is hurting? Or recently I'm having a lot of people coming with the skin problems. Why they are having skin problems suddenly happened? No, it didn't happen last 3 days. No, you worked for this to last maybe 5 years or 2 years, or your stress, your what you eat, how you live. We know this exactly. So let us not wait. For those of you who are listening, just because you want to get the better quality of life, let us not wait until we get a problem, and let us realize that everything what we do, we think, we eat, or we exercise, or we don't, everything, all our activities is leading us unconsciously most of the time in to the problems, or to a good life by default, most of the time to a problems. So let us be
That
more conscious of that. Therefore, so then we can have a good health, good mental state, good life, businesses, anything.
from my perspective and from my experience, the first thing is to be conscious when you use painkillers.
Mm.
Whenever something is happening, we like to use some painkillers this way or other way. It could be tablet or something in the glass kind of painkillers it is. So
Oh, yes, yes.
if it's emotional pain or physical pain, when you start to feel you want to use something to numb yourself, then the process is starting. So
Yeah.
maybe it's better to start to breathe and be a little bit more mindful when we want to do something because we want to celebrate is something different. But
Yes,
when we
yes.
want to use something because we want to numb ourselves, or I'm too overwhelmed, the hard day is after me and I need to take something, or uh, I have some pain in my body and I will take painkiller so I can go forward with this. This is how we create really big problems. So, as you said, it's better to be mindful and aware.
Mm.
You can and we can change things earlier before we create a complicated situation because then it takes time.
But
Usually,
then it's very late. Then we are already in the problem. We've reached the destination, which means that problem, right?
exactly. So many people who I working with in a treatment room, they coming and they say, "Oh, it was suddenly." And then during the our interview, and we talk about the symptoms and things, it's usually ongoing from 10 years, on and off,
Yeah, yeah,
and
exactly.
this is
Unconsciously,
difficult.
without realizing, they were leading slowly by taking painkillers. And this is so often like, when do we when is the wake up call for people? Like, when I think about this, when this wake up call should be like, oh, am I doing right? When people are ignored, for example, when you start having a headaches, or maybe feeling tiredness, or maybe your backache is hurting, or maybe you start getting some dysfunction in your body, maybe constipation, maybe often flus, and people start taking painkillers. Even they go to doctors, they give them painkillers. So many times, many times. Um, and this is Krzysztof, I think this is the moment that the conscious person, the person who wants to really live holistically, who take control of their life, should question, why am I having, this is what I do, why am I having this headache, what how am I contributing to this problem, or what is that I need to know, what this problem is telling me, this kind of questions. What area in my life are not right? Maybe the business is not running late, and that's why you have a backache, or maybe you're stuck with your knees, or maybe this is the time where we should start asking, where is this problem coming from?
I had
Psychos.
in my mind one situation recently where I spoke with my client and she asked herself question. It was genius question. What I'm achieving, what I'm receiving through this illness, what I'm getting from it.
From getting from it, yeah.
I'm getting attention. Oh
Mm.
my God. And she started to realize she create problem because she was looking for attention in
Mm.
her situations in her life.
Mm.
So this is exactly what you said. How I contribute, what I getting from it. Maybe I'm doing this in purpose sometimes, unconsciously, of course.
Sabotaging. People are sabotaging themselves very often with,
Yes.
without realizing it, and then they are getting into a very deep problem. So, and the other thing, if I may add to this, is also warning: do not compare your problem with someone else's problem. Like, for example, you have a backache, or you have depression. The source of your problem is absolutely totally different than the source of someone else's problem, and maybe they are dealing with this for within 3 months they can solve it out. Maybe you're dealing for 5 years with this. You cannot compare anybody with yourself in this. You need to, this is the call, what you are saying, to get into yourself deeper and question what is that in for me, what I should do, what is my life about, what's wrong with it, why am I having this, what is it I need to know.
And this is a really important part when we sometimes confusing being egoistic with
Mm,
looking on ourselves, because
mm,
this is healthy egoism is needed in this place. We cannot compare, and we need to look on ourselves, because how you can help your children, how you can provide things for your family, for
mm.
yourself, even if you are not in a good place.
100%, 100%. And exactly. So the pain, this is the pain is a messenger to us that something is going wrong with our life, and it's not the stomach that you are having a problem with. Probably something else led to that problem. And now, from the psychology, from the point of view, from the psychological side of it, I say, do not feel pity for yourself. Do not feel pity, or don't feel as a victim, because you are vibrationally taking yourself so much lower. And then you can, from the pity standpoint or from the victim standpoint, you cannot help yourself. So what you need to do is, like, get excited, say, okay, I have a problem. No, not get excited, but
Yeah,
I would say get excited, because you realize, get excited, you realize that there's a
right.
problem. Now you can find a solution. Now you can solve it. Not only the physical problem, but the other problem.
I'm really often risking the sentence like the pain is our one of our greatest friend,
Mm.
because it's always telling us, "Hey, wake up! You're doing something.
100%. Absolutely.
You're doing
Absolutely.
something which is not serving you. So look on yourself, please."
Absolutely. And then, so running away, of course, when you have a really desperate pain, you need to do something instantly with this. But we should never run away. And then, I'm speaking to people, and they're telling me they are 5 years on antidepressant. This is not a solution. You are pretending that there is no problem. You are covering up. You are running away from it. It's never going to solve it. It's never going to solve it. So, getting that message, that realizing that moment, that any dysfunction, any emotional dysfunction, any depression, sadness, you realize that you are sad most of the days, or that you have a problem with your bodily organs, is the wake up call for all of us, to change what needs to be changed in order to repair the physical pain, the mental pain, emotional pain, and everything else. And we have, if I might say, we have inbuilt guidance system. I always talk about this. We are given a system that can protect us from all the bad things, really, literally, in the business. And I do have 20 years experience in business, and in the relationship, and in our health. That guidance systems, that is our feeling, that feelings, that there are the only two types. There's a good feeling and there is a bad feeling. So when it's good feeling, when you feel like you are in the flow, that you're doing, that you are happy, you are excited, you boost your energy by thinking about something or by doing something, it means this is in agreement with your inner you. But when something is not, you're not feeling good, you're feeling, a lot of the time you're feeling stressed, or you're feeling a negative emotion within, that is a signal for you that your inner you, the wiser you connected to the source, is telling you, stop for a minute. Maybe that's not the right direction. And then maybe you don't go for that fast food, or maybe you don't sleep till midday. Maybe you start doing exercise, or maybe you change that job that is not suitable for you because it's depressing you there. um, you know, is that guidance system that we have inbuilt. If we remember about this every single day, we can avoid so many problems. It's like when things are going right, then it's fine. But when things are not, it's like driving a car. When you're driving a car and you hear some funny noises, what do? You stop. You will stop. You will not be driving with that funny noises in your engine, right? So same with us. When you start having a problem with your knees or with anything, you stop. You stop for stop, relax, meditate, pray. Get yourself into this state that you are not pressurized, and start listening to yourself, to your body, what is telling you. What do you think, Krzysztof?
Exactly. I call it internal intelligence of the body, of the mind, of the soul. It's interconnected, and our body has a great intelligence how to help itself, how to help our body, how to keep it healthy. The thing is just to listen to it, because usually we disturb the process of responding by our thoughts, our habits of food, negative kind of food, over sugaring and things like that. But then also our body, we all had this in our life. We had some pain in the body, and then automatically our body did, oh, I have a shoulder pain, oh, or I had something here, and you start to touch yourself in the place where is the pain, because our body have this great mechanism. It can heal the problem, it can help with the problem. We just need to direct in the right way our thoughts, breath, and of course prepare our body in terms of the movement and the food, because if we have a problem with the stomach and we overeat and we eat 3 or 5 course meal and then we are wondering why it's not working. It's not working because it's overwhelmed. And in general, we back to the listening to ourselves and provide what is needed. And the body, we have this intelligence in ourselves. As you said before, it's everywhere. It's in the relationships, in the business, it's in our daily choices. We feel something. Every one of us had that. I felt to not do that. I felt
Experience.
it will
Absolutely.
be.
This is
And we did it anyway.
yeah, exactly. Out of habit, out of temptation, out of
Ignorance
ignorance.
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah,
So if we start to
absolutely.
listen to that, then we can help and we boost the process of backing to the balance. Because on the end of the day, the healing itself is to back to the balance. Because
To get back to
going
the
out
balance, to balance ourselves. Absolutely.
we going out of the balance, and then we create all kind of stories, situation, with our body, with our life, relationships. And then we're looking for the healer who will come and heal us and bring
And do the
something.
magic, and then somebody else will do. But I want to absolutely, and I sometimes people are asking me, especially when we're doing the workshop for 5 flavors, or and people are asking me, okay, Agnes, where do I start? I think it's important to realize that let's say you are not having problems now, like you are not desperate, you're not looking for a doctors, you are okay. But then you know that you can maintain a better quality life forever. So where do I start? People asking me questions, or when they're having a problem, especially where do I start? And there are few aspects that we consider, like we're talking about understanding, about having that balance, getting that uh, understanding that the energy flows and we are one with the whole entire universe. And they are seasons, and they are changes of energy, and this is happening in our life as well. We understand that we need to supply different food, so the understanding is one thing. Now the way you eat the food, what you mentioned that you eat 5 meals course, of course you will have a problem if you eat fast food every day, or drink this fizzy drinks, etc. So understanding about the food, understanding about the universe, the holistic approach, the food, the how do we relax. So some people meditate, some people pray, some people, slowing down. What I'm talking here, meditation, is slowing down the thinking processes in our brain, slowing down, allowing not to be overworking us, overwhelming us, which I think 100% of people that I talk with, they are having a problem with this. And and then the physical exercises that you do, the activities, you go for swimming, you do for tennis, you play badminton, you do activities in order to maintain. And people say, so where do I start now? So many things you're telling us, or where do we start? And I say, start with what you feel you would like to start, you feel comfortable with. If you feel you are lacking with cooking, start maybe preparing meal a day for yourself rather than buying from the outside. If you feel like you haven't exercised for years and this will be a good starting point, start by doing 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week, some exercises, or maybe go on a cycle. Start with something that is flowing with you, like it feels easy for you. And then with the mind that this is the part of the contribution for your future health and well-being, you will go from one stage to another. I never meditate in the past. I never did. I was thinking this is for monks. This is for some people. Not for me. I can't do that. And it took me a few years. I started cooking. I was doing exercises. I was learning all from the books. I translated the books. All of that I've done. But I was never meditating. I'm thinking meditation is not for me. It's for these monks. And then there was a time that with all of this work, the meditation came as well. So this is why I'm saying you start from whatever you feel is easier for you to start, and then progress from there with the mind that you are looking after your entire holistic body and life.
Exactly. And very often in the treatment room, my clients asking me for some exercise on the first session when they are still in some kind of restriction on movement. And I said, okay, so what do you would like to do? Maybe I will go to swimming pool. Nice, but do you start at the basics? What do you mean? Are you walking? Yeah, to the car, and from the car to the office. Sometimes on the shopping center. Yeah, so maybe it's good to look on the basic stuff. Go slowly. You don't need to buy straight away membership on the gym. If you like, fine, do it. But you jump on it for 2 weeks and then might be difficult. So maybe
Correct.
start slowly, but what you really like. And I was study all kind different types of meditation, and there are different people. So as you said, I've also had that mindset. It's for the monks. It needs to be very passive way. And then we had a great conversation with my wife, and she said, "I love to meditate when I'm doing ironing." What? You're doing ironing? You don't meditate? Yes, I'm meditating because I don't need to think when I'm doing ironing. It's
Mm.
a simple movement,
I do the same.
repeatable.
When I do ironing, this is the only thing that I do in the housework is ironing. In terms of the tidying up, and this is the only thing I love doing ironing because I'm turning on the classical music. I love classical music, and this is my meditation.
Yeah, and I
She's
then I
right.
realized I was meditating for years. I didn't realize it because I was
Yeah.
running,
Mm, for
and
example.
run is kind of meditation because
Mm,
there is no option for overthinking. You can
mm,
try it, but then you cannot run
mm.
too
But
far.
but just what do you think from I think that the system that we live in, people are very ambitious, people are very busy, people are, it's kind of a race in this world, and they most of the time they use the mind to do it. They forget that there is a power that can solve their problems when they start doing things a little bit differently, when they slow down, they can in fact speed up the recovery of their health, speed up the business, speed up the improvement in the relationship, the overthinking, the over stressing. It's not good. It's the last thing. And I would say, if you remember anything from this um, conversation we're having tonight, is think if you are not overthinking all your life, and how much time do you spend in a day not thinking about anything, just watching the birds or the skies, or closing eyes and listening to the music, just pausing.
I completely agree with you. And what you said, how to get this awareness about the universe, where we are, is so difficult and so simple in the same time. We just need to observe nature.
Is very simple. It's the easiest thing we can do. Children do this. We can learn from them. But it's extremely difficult because we forgot that we know this, that we are so busy running after the money, running after the businesses, bringing up the children, all of that externally, our life, which is important as well. But realizing that there is a different way of doing it, and you are important. That pausing, relaxing thing is important, but relaxing, not what you said in the start of the conversation, taking a glass with some voltage in it. This is not the relaxing we are talking about, right?
Uh, it's exactly opposite. But the thing is, as you said, to slow down. And this is like with kids when they learning walking, they doing steps, and sometimes they quickly catch it, and some of them they need more time. This one step, okay, wobbly wobbly, bam. Another step, wobbly wobbly, bam. Some of them starting to run quickly, but they are skipping this stepping. And when they already can run, but it's difficult for them to slow down, to go
To
step.
stop.
And this is
Mm.
what is happening with our mind. It's really good in running because we are overwhelmed by the information, mobile phones, all kind of social media, emails, and things like that. And we forgot how to walk with our mind, how to slow down our mind. And when we are able to do that, we are not slower, we are more precise because we open the awareness of what is really happening. Because mind like to here, there, here, there, here, there,
And
and it's completely overwhelming. So what I like to do also with people when they're asking how to do it, how to do the meditation and how to relax, find your way. Find what you feel like. I prefer, for example, it's my personal thing to go to the music and do some music, some playing on the drum or the djembe or wherever. But this is my way,
mhm,
and I like to run. But if you cannot walk and you are barely can sitting, I will not ask you to run today.
mm, mm,
Just find something which is help you today,
yeah,
slowly, and in this way you will get back control. And the thing is, don't compare and do this what people like to in conversation. I had this disease and I had that disease. My disease is worse than your disease and things like that. And when we going to the people and we start to speak about our disease and exchanging information about disease, we create more situation even than we had before.
absolutely, absolutely. And so from the practical standpoint, I would say, if you never thought about how where you can start and how you can, for example, relax yourself. Relaxing is hugely important today. It's hugely important, and relaxing is not, uh, you know. I'm talking relaxing, being with yourself, connecting, um, stop thinking. I'm not talking about relaxing gathering with a group of people. This is also relaxing, but we are talking about a different kind of relaxing. Relaxing that, for example, you wake up first in the morning, and before you start activating your brain, before you take your mobile in your hand, before you start thinking what next you have to do today, you close your eyes for 2 minutes. Close your eyes and be grateful for the new day. Prepave, be grateful for the sunshine or for the rain. Be grateful that you are alive. Be grateful that you've got a roof over your head. Be grateful for the new day, that you've got another 24 hours. And prepave your day to be a good day, to be a good day. Before, and do this for 2 minutes before you take your phone, before you start talking, before you start thinking, I need to take a shower, I need to prepare the breakfast, I need to send the children to school, I need to go to the car and go to office, before everything else, this, and see how this will evolve over time. Do this for 5 days and see how this will evolve.
I'm completely agreed with you. And also when the people are saying me how to change things, I usually ask them to look what they drink and how often they drink water. And then it's like, oh, I I may be drinking something. So just to simple thing, you don't need to create all kind of juices on the beginning, and it's nice if you want, it's nice, but if you feel it's overwhelming you, start from the water. Just exchange, go to simplicity, make things simple,
Mm.
because we like to complicate things and already have an idea of, oh my God, meditation is this, relaxation is this, how to be grateful if I have this pain. Yes, be grateful because it's give you opportunity to change
Mm,
something. It's the greatest
exactly.
opportunity to change something.
Mm.
Your body was asking you from some time to do it, but somehow you skip it.
Exactly. And then when things are not going right in your personal life or when in the business, and if you realize that, because most of the people don't realize that and they just can keep on complaining and keep on running to change anything. But then when you have that minute or two for yourself or 5 minutes for yourself, and then you realize that you have the problem, but this is not a problem. This is a challenge to solve. If you look into this from this perspective, that this is a challenge to solve, and then there is something that you need to improve within yourself. So you've got a new whole opportunities for yourself opening up, and you're shifting your vibration from the moment you wake up to do something better, to attract better things for yourself. This is, we're talking about law of universe, law of attraction, vibrations, and all of that. But this probably for the next time, for those of you who know what we are talking about, is that realizing that the problem is only a challenge for you to have the new opportunities to solve, and to move on, you become better. Is a completely different approach and completely different quality of life that you will be gaining by thinking this way.
Exactly. And this is referring to what we said in the beginning. It's much better to start prevention as a preparing yourself. This is kind of prevention to go deeper to the situations and to create more difficult challenges. If you prepare yourself on the challenges, you will approach them positively from the very beginning. It will be much smoother to solve them. And
Absolutely.
this is the life. It's a part of the game to be challenged
Exactly,
every
and
time.
exactly, and with all this Western world, development, technology, and everything that's going on today in the world, I think simplicity, learning, going back to being simple, to be slower, to respect, to love ourselves, to give ourselves a time, stop running, going back to basics, going back to being simple and having simpler life can really escalate the results in the business. I see this every day in the business of people. I see changes in the health, all of that. That holistic approach, I think, Krzystof, I think is a really a solution to all our problems today in today's world.
I'm agree with you. Absolutely.
Mm.
This to make it simple, simplify things. It is very helpful, and it's on uh, every plane of our life to
Absolutely.
keep it simple. And then of course we can explore more complicated things if we want it. But if we are able to back to simplicity, and then we are more likely in
Yeah,
balance.
absolutely. And but because what we can do, because we can talk. We're talking our life. You talking your life. I'm talking my life, because we live this way. We know it works. We know it works because we see other people living this way, and they are having, and so what to do, because how can we help people to change? How can I help? How can we help people to, because somebody's watching us and listening and said, okay, you know all of this, but now what do I do? And I say to you this, I say, make a decision that you want to take life in your hands, because we can tell you, and there are people who are wiser and older than us and much more experienced than us, that they wrote many, many books, and they say, when you let it in, it will happen. So it's not only us, yes, Krzystof, yes, it's not only us,
Exactly.
but many, many wiser people than us, and many scholars and scientists now proving it will work for you. But you need to make a decision. You have to make a commitment that you want to change, that you want to take life in your hands, and all the other things will fall into place. What we are talking about, which one, where to start, how to do, or what not to do, and so on. When you make this decision, I promise you, when you could commit yourself from the bottom of your heart, you will be able to do this. And saying this, if you are good at decision making, fantastic. It's your choice to make a decision and take your life in your hands, start doing things differently maybe from today. If you are not good at decision making, then, and if you would like to know, I want to, if you're interested and you're watching this video, I would, I'm allowing 30 minutes free for those of you who are watching. By tomorrow, by 12 midday tomorrow, I want you to send me a message that you are having a problem with decision making, and I will give you 30 minutes free consultation how you can help yourself make better decisions in anything, in health, in business, in anything, decision. Okay, so this is my kind of a gift for you if you would like to utilize it.
And from my perspective, and what if you want to really help yourself and take control over your health and remain control over your pain and how to get your body to better movement to back to the balance, you exactly what you need to do is a decision, and you want to go deep with it. You want to really take care of yourself, and then you can drop me a message in the meantime up to 12 in the noon today to tomorrow, and I will help you. I will guide you how to remain control over your through the breath over your pain, and to stop it as excuses in your life and to disturbing your life. So if you want to learn how to help yourself and get a control through the breath over your pain, just drop me a message.
Fantastic. You see? Yes. So because you see, we can this is a huge topic, but simplicity, getting easier about yourself, getting easier about your life, for so many people, is a very hard thing to do, because they've been so hard on themselves for everything, very ambitious, studying, working hard, running for maybe 20 or 30 years of their life. So they don't know how to slow down. They don't know how to think differently than they think.
Exactly. It's the same with the one of the tools is the breath, and people don't know they're breathing. They are not aware of it, and they don't know
Yeah.
how they're breathing. They don't know they're breathing at all, and this is creating the situation with the pain
Mm,
because they are so focused in their mind on something, on their thoughts, they completely forgot to maintain the breath to the body and bring the
mm,
oxygen,
yeah.
which is allowing us to be.
Yeah. 100%, 100%. And then you in the clinic, you know exactly, and they come and they cry over the pain in the bones, in the body, in the joints, in everywhere, huh?
Exactly,
Mm,
exactly. But when we talk about the breath, they don't know what they do it completely.
yeah.
So we can remind it, we can remind ourselves, and there are easy ways to get a control over the breath, and through the breath, get a control over the pain. And it's no longer situation for us, and we can go forward with this all kind of situation what we
Absolutely.
created.
Absolutely, absolutely, fantastic. Okay, yeah. So this is the holistic health. I mean, in a nutshell, um, that we are all able to do this, and it's not difficult and it's not hard. And I'm not saying because I'm doing this for the last 12 years or 15 or 20 years, but because it's not, because children can do it. It's just we need to try. That's what's my suggestion. So make a decision that you want to live a life of a good quality for the rest of your life, and then things will fall in place in no time.
Exactly. So the main thing is to make decision and take back, remain control over your life in the holistic way, and then you will feel your life again. You are in the control and making decision what is happening with your life.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Agnieszka. Thank you, Agnes, very much for this meeting, for this evening. Thank you for your time and will of sharing your experience and knowledge. That was great to meet you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. And then until next time. And yeah, let's get in touch and then maybe see you on one of the workshops very, very soon.
Take care.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Bye bye.